Welcome to another episode of Mental Wellness Insights, bringing sunlight into mental health. This week's episode is a continuation of last week's episode, a conversation with Pluton Dutta from India on the role of a caregiver. If you haven't watched last week's episode, please do so before you continue with this one. If you are watching this episode and you have not subscribed, ask yourself why. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, and click on the notification bell. God bless you.
What do you think should be done as support to caregivers? All right, you in your case, I could say you're lucky because you have a caring caregiver, a strong caregiver, both physically and emotionally. But I'm sure this does not is not the same for everybody. So, what would you suggest that should be done?
I believe that in every city, because chronic kidney disease has become a pretty common disease. It's no longer a rare kind of a thing.
Yeah.
After this lockdown and COVID, and when people have their sedentary lifestyle and everything, these kidney problems have increased many folds. You will find people with kidney disease in almost all the cities of the world.
Yeah.
So I believe that in every city there are dialysis centers or there are kidney hospitals, and if they can actually take an initiative to create support groups separately for the patients and for the caregivers. For the patients, the support group would be of a different nature, wherein the patients would talk freely about their physical and emotional being to other fellow patients in a group of 10 people, 20 people, whatsoever, meeting one day, meeting on Sundays, someplace, wherever. For caregivers, I think there should be some kind of community groups or some kind of social groups wherein they would be given some idea and knowledge about what is the kidney problem, what happens to the body when the kidney stops working. So some kind of knowledge so that they don't have to rely on Google, some kind of knowledge provided by somebody who is knowledgeable about the disease, and also a kind of support system where the caregivers can talk about their agonies, the caregivers can talk about their problems, the caregivers can talk about their day-to-day struggle with the patient with another caregiver. Because that way, they would not only be able to tell what is going on in their mind, but also be able to share other person's perspective, other caregivers' perspective.
Yeah.
I have seen that when you are fighting a battle because you have to help a patient, if you meet another fellow person who is fighting the same kind of battle to help another patient, then you can easily connect. And then you will find out that I am also not alone.
Yeah.
As a caregiver, there are other fellow caregivers who are fighting the same kind of battle like I am doing. So I am not alone.
Yeah.
So if at any time I feel down, I have somebody to reach out to. I have a community to share my thoughts with. Not always that the caregiver can actually tell the patient what they are feeling, because the patient might feel more upset. But instead, if they talk with another fellow caregiver, then I believe that they will get a lot of peace in their mind.
That is very true. And because when we talk about caregivers, we are talking about caregiving in general. Different diseases. Some are actually caregiving people who are very sick. Some are giving care to those who still can work, like yourself. And so, yes, we are talking about the importance of support groups.
The very idea is to provide the caregivers a forum and the space to vent out their frustration.
Yeah.
Because if the caregivers start venting out their frustrations on the patient, then will it make the patient better?
No.
Rather, it will make the patient more unwell. Because now the patient will feel more emotionally disconnected. The patient will feel more, their emotional confidence will break down all the more. So they need a different forum. They need a different support group to vent out their frustration by ranting it out, by letting the steam off, by letting their their own insecurities, their own feeling of frustration out. They need a forum as well. But
Yeah.
nobody, is actually talking about it. That's the sad part.
Actually, people concentrate on the sick, not the person who cares for the sick. And they risk
Yes.
breaking down, they risk being sick also.
Yeah, it is like, recently both of us were sick together.
Yeah.
Because we both of us had viral fever and both of us were not doing well. So I was rather trying to be the caregiver for a few days by asking her medicines on time, by asking her her health all the time whenever I was not working. But again, it was a kind of a switch in the roles. But that's temporary. But I still feel that she needs a forum, she needs a group wherein she can easily talk about her own frustrations, talk about free her mind out. Because there's lots going on her mind as well, because she is my spouse and nobody wants to see a spouse who is always struggling. And I want to see her being happy as well. Although I am the patient here, but my mind always wants to see her happy too. And if she starts venting out on me, it will not help.
It would not help. And a lot of times, caregivers are spouses. I want to think that does it bring a strain in the relationship, in the marriage?
Strain, I believe there are two ways to it. While I have seen that some of the relations have been strained and there has been difficulties for the spouse to continue with the relationship with the patient. Um, but again, in my case, I would say that I have seen the opposite.
Mm.
Our relationship has strengthened rather being strained. Initially, there was a little strain, there was a little stress, but last 2.5 years, it has rather strengthened. It has become more stronger because now she is doing for me and I am caring for her without actually, it's not a give and take situation.
Yeah.
Helping, being a caregiver is something that you are going beyond your relationship duties. You are going beyond what is expected from you as a spouse. It is a noble thing that you are doing. So there is no give and take thing that's going on. That okay, I am doing this for you. So after 3 years, you should be doing this back for me. So there is no give and take or kind of a transactional thing that's happening here. She is doing it in a selfless manner.
Yeah.
She is doing it without any kind of things she is expecting in return.
Yeah.
So I think that actually strengthens the bond when the relationship goes beyond the traditional give and take stuff. I believe those relationships gets into a strain when people are always expecting about give and take. What is in it for me? Always expecting me, keeping me in the first. That's when the relationship will get strained.
Yeah. So to be a caregiver, you really have to be selfless.
Yes, you have to.
You
Otherwise,
have to really.
it's very difficult to continue as a caregiver.
you really have to care for to emotionally care for the person who is sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were married, she didn't ask for all these things.
Yeah.
She didn't ask for all these days that I would be down and on my bed and I would not be able to move. She didn't ask for anything of this sort. Rather, when she married, we only dreamt of a better life. But the life that we are living now is a very difficult life. And that she is able to cope up with the difficult life talks about a selfless nature.
Have you at any one time felt worried that she will probably get tired and leave?
Oh yes, it happened. It happened. In fact, I myself had jokingly once mentioned to her that if I would not have been there in your life would have been better perhaps. But she said that that's not how we actually taken the vows. And now my life is, we are bonded together. We are bonded together for life. So if something goes bad with you, who else will deal with it if I don't deal with it?
Mm-hmm.
So she has a very different mindset on these things. Because today's life, in the current scenario, we see people being very self-centered.
Yeah.
We see people being very selfish.
Mm-hmm.
We see that, once you have got nothing to get from one person, you don't really keep a good relation with that person.
Yeah.
But my wife is an example that there are still people who are living and care for others. I understand that she might have her own feelings of, distress because she always must have wanted a healthy spouse, but she doesn't project that on me.
Mm-hmm.
So she is rather compassionate.
What is the role of other family members in?
I do have other family members, and I do have a lot of them, but most of them have their own agenda. So I really don't expect much from them. So and trust me on this. Initially, I thought that this is kind of a situation that I am only facing, but most of the patients I have talked with who are struggling with diabetes, they have got the same thing in common, that not all our family members have time for us. They might have family members and relatives with whom they have grown up together, but now that they are out of the league because of the disease, not a lot of people come and visit them.
That is the nature of human being. They only want to be near the person who they think can
Yes.
help them or, yeah.
Yeah, provide.
But that is very unfortunate because nobody knows when the disease will strike.
That's why it is said that the real color of a person is only revealed when you are in the distress, when you are in going through the bad times. Then only you see the true colors of people.
Sure.
Because when you are going through a good time, when you are all successful, you have a lot of family, you have a lot of friends,
yeah,
who will always praise you and be around you, because they might have an expectation that they might get something from you. But when you have got nothing to give, and when you are struggling with your own situation, can you expect the same number of people be around you?
Very unfortunate. It's
very unfortunate. And
yeah.
That's true for everyone.
Mm.
That's true for everyone. I am 80% of the patients I have talked with,
yeah,
who are going through dialysis have this same thing, that we are all alone, we have nobody. Even our family members have kind of, rather rejected, or they don't talk with us anymore. They feel that if they say something, then we will ask for help.
Yeah, and apart from that also, I believe you want to be treated not with pity.
But with dignity and the right respect.
Exactly. But a lot of people also
Yes.
will watch what they say to you because they don't know how you will take your emotional state.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has happened to me. I mean, people have given me pity and they have talked with me in a way that, oh, you are so this, you are so that. You have seen that I'm a little active in Facebook.
Yeah.
And I keep on telling to my friends most of the time that don't tell me that you will be fine soon, you will be this soon, you will be that soon. I know what I can do. You just say that I am proud of you, that you are fighting your battle. That would make my day.
Yeah.
Whether I will get well soon or not, it's not in my hand. It's not in my doctor's hand.
No.
But I would be very happy if somebody gives me a comment like, we are proud of you, that you are fighting your own battle.
Yeah.
That gives me the confidence.
Yeah. The positive talk, not something negative,
Yes.
not pity, but just an
Because,
encouragement.
because always, oh my God, I feel so bad for you. Oh my God, what happened to you? Oh my God, things are so bad with you. These things doesn't really help much, because I know what I'm going through. I know that I am in a crisis, and you don't have to really re-explain that to me. I know it. Rather, if you say that you feel proud that you have a friend who is struggling his own battle, keeping his head high, that would give me the utmost confidence.
Yeah. So I believe the people who are going to watch this will educate them a little on how to treat.
But I would also say at the same time that being able to express in social media has helped me a lot.
Yeah, true.
Because I am fighting, because almost through the entire lockdown, when we were locked in the house, I had no other way to express myself.
Yeah.
And I took to Facebook and I started writing small notes, which some of them you might have seen. So that were from my heart, pure form of my own expression.
Yeah.
And you will see that my posts, I talk about my own feeling of sadness, my own feeling of fear, my feeling of death, my feeling of inadequacies. I don't only talk about the good and happy feelings. I also talk about the real feelings.
Yeah.
So that has helped me a lot. And this online community in Facebook, which I am a member of, they had been also kind of very helpful. Because sometimes knowing from them, a lot of people actually share their stories with me through Facebook.
Yeah.
Through Messenger. A lot of people ask about information from me.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask about different things about chronic disease from me.
Yeah.
And I really feel good if I am able to help them. So, because whatever I say is only from my experience. But sometimes they say that your experience, we find it so valuable. That helps us to, get rid of the fear, because we were being very fearful as in what is going to come next. Then I say that you read my stories. I am struggling with this for around 3 years now.
Yeah.
So you will be at least having some kind of idea as in what a depression goes through.
Yeah, so speaking out is very positive. Positive for your own self and positive for the other person who could be going through the same thing. So we encourage people to speak out in any any form that they prefer, but speak out. Don't pent up emotions.
Actually, it's always better to tell speak your heart out than to sit in a corner and cry alone. That
Yeah.
would not help in any way. Just
And
speak out whatever there's in your mind. You will feel people who are in support of you. You will find people.
and similarly, we
Yes.
also we also encourage caregivers to speak out. So I don't know if you have anything else that you'd want to express before we conclude this conversation.
Well, for me, my message goes to all the caregivers that don't give up on your patient, because the patient you are helping, trust me, the help of a caregiver is worth it. I mean, there can be nobody who can help the patient like the way a caregiver can.
Yeah.
A caregiver, a chronically ill patient, the most difficult emotion that the patient deals with is the feeling of loneliness. And the caregiver can actually fill that position and help the patient not to feel lonely. And that itself is a huge moral boost for the patient.
Yeah.
So the role of the caregiver is immense. It's as good as the role of the doctor.
Sure. So I want to say again that I loved your wife. She's a hero or a heroine in this journey, and really we pray that God will continue giving her the strength. And for you, you are a fighter, and I'm sure you are going
Thank you.
to continue fighting until you win the race.
Yes, I will always try. I mean, I will always try to keep my fight on. I'm not going to give up.
No.
I had thought of, but I'm not planning to give up. I am going to fight it till there.
Yes, and we continue praying for you and praying with you until, yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to the next session.
Thank you for watching this episode of Mental Wellness Insights. Did you know that indecision is a mental issue? Please look out for next week's episode, a very interesting conversation on the issue of indecisiveness. Please, as a way of supporting this channel, subscribe, like, comment, click on the notification bell. May God